Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing another Pigment playtime. Last time I really enjoyed doing the one about Opera Rose. I found it very interesting to get to know that colour more, and thought I'd actually turn this into a bit of a series and I'm going to do colours that I use quite a lot, or colours that are quite interesting. So today I'm going to be looking at Cerulean Blue. Cerulean Blue is a light blue and it granulates quite often, and the granulation is very consistent. It's all over granulation, and it's a consistent granulation. So it's not like it granulates in little bits or in certain areas like some colours do. Cerulean Blue comes in several different variations. There's genuine Cerulean Blue, which is PB35, and then there are also variations such as PB36, and some brands will do hues which can be made up of PB28. Genuine Cerulean Blue of PB35 is generally quite an expensive pigment. It's not the cheapest of pigments to acquire, and that reflects in the price of the paint. In the ones I'm testing today, I have a full range from as little as about £4 a tube all the way up to £18 per 5ml tube. Because of the granulation of the pigment, it will often separate in the tube, meaning you'll have to stir the binder or give the tube a good shake before you pour it into a pan. So let's have a look at the Cerulean Blues I have here to compare. So I'm painting the Cerulean Blues out on rough textured paper, 300 GSM. This way you should be able to see whether the paint granulates or not, and how heavily. Now, as I've done before, I'm not going to label which brand they're from until the end, when they're all dry. I'm painting a heavily satiated swatch at the top, and then I am flooding it out and blending it out with a clear wash of water underneath to see how much the pigment moves and flows in the water. Cerulean Blue is generally quite a good flowing pigment, and it can sometimes be hard to re-wet on the pan, so softer brands that contain more honey definitely have an advantage for this colour. Personally, I use Cerulean Blue for skies. They're really great for sky mixes, and as well anything that you want to granulate quite nicely, it's quite helpful to add mixed in for that. And as well, when you don't want as an intense blue as like a phthalo blue or a deep blue such as indanthrene or Prussian blue, it's a really good option to go for. So here they are all dried, and you can see there's not too much variation between them. Some of them granulate slightly more than others, and some are a little bit more intense or more bright or intense blues, but they're pretty consistent. I have done some paler washes of some of them as well next to the original swatch, just to see if there is a lot of granulation, as some of them didn't granulate very much. So I'm going to label them now. So the first one right at the top, this is Rembrandt's Cerulean Blue, which is PB35, so the genuine article. This is one of my favourite ones, and it was the first Cerulean Blue that I purchased ever. And personally I quite like it, it's quite deep and the granulation is pretty good. The next one is the Old Holland Cerulean Blue. This is the most expensive. I believe this costs about £17.50 per tube. And it's quite a nice colour, there's decent granulation, but it's nothing special. Next we have my own handmade one, which is PB35, and it does granulate pretty heavily, and it's a nice colour. Next there is m.graham's Cerulean Blue Deep, which is PB36, and it doesn't granulate really at all. I don't even notice any granulation there. After that we have Daniel Smith's Cerulean Blue Chromium, which is PB36. It's the same colour as m.graham's, but this one granulates. And then we have Holbein's Cerulean Blue, which is PB35. There's no granulation in that one either. And then lastly there is the Jackson's Cerulean Blue PB35, and it's quite similar to my own handmade one. It's a nice colour and it does granulate. And here's a close-up of all of them so you can see the granulation or not granulation in the paint. So I'm going to mix all the Cerulean Blues with some colours. So I have a yellow, which is Old Holland's Schlevenier Yellow Lemon, which is PY3, a very cold yellow. This is what I use to mix a lot of my greens with. It's definitely my go-to yellow. Then we have Old Holland's Schlevenier Yellow Deep. This is a deep, warm yellow. This should make a nice range of warm greens. And then for the red, I've gone for a cadmium red light from Schminker, which is PO108. And then we have a cold red, so Old Holland's Schlevenier Red Deep. It's a nice deep red. It's definitely a favourite colour of mine. I'm going to mix all of them and hopefully we can get a nice range of colours from this. I'm going to label all of them at the end, but until now I'll leave you guessing which ones are which and how they turn out. It was very interesting to see all the different brands and their variations. They were all fairly similar, they had similar attributes, but they were also quite different, particularly the ones that granulated or didn't, and the ones that used the PB36 opposed to the PB35. And as well, I forgot to mention that I'm also testing the safe version of Cerulean Blue, PB71, which is zirconium blue. This is my handmade version, which I sell over on my web store, and it's available still, so I will leave a link down to my web store down in the description bar. If you are enjoying this content, please remember to leave a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. And if you would like to continue to support myself in this channel, please use the affiliate links below and check me out over on Patreon, where you can get exclusive offers such as behind the scenes content and also discounts for my web store. Now, Cerulean Blue in the colour itself is a personal favourite of mine. It's always on my palette. I'm not sure why. It's not heavily used compared to some of my other blues, but I have a personal soft spot for it. I guess I just like the linear granulation, and the colour is just a really nice light blue, and it's consistent. Cerulean Blue is cobalt tin oxide. There's only one registered manufacturer of this pigment in the world, I believe, which is based here in the UK. So I'm assuming that that is then distributed across the world. PB36 is cobalt chromium oxide. It's a little bit greener than the PB35, but both of them are 100% light fastness according to its ATSM ratings. So it should last up to and plus 100 years. The name Cerulean Blue that is given to this colour is quite broad in what colour it can be. Other than it being blue, it can shift in many different colorways, such as the PB36 is a greener version. However, you can get red versions and blue versions of this colour. Winsor & Newton do a red shade and a blue shade. While there are many different versions, the differences between the colour shift can be very subtle indeed. So it's down to the preference of the painter. So I'm going to label these now. So we have Old Holland on the top. It makes a very nice violet and a very nice green, I feel. My own one also makes a very nice green and a very nice warm green. The Zircon Blue granulates the heaviest, and it's a little bit more opaque than the others. The m.graham is completely smooth, there is no granulation there whatsoever. However, all the colours are really nice and consistent and flat. Personally, if you are looking for a cerulean blue that does not granulate so much or at all, I definitely recommend the m.graham one. It's quite good for the price and the colour is really nice. I have left links down in the description bar on where you can find all the different cerulean blues from the different manufacturers if you'd like to pick any up. And it also goes towards helping this channel at no extra cost for you. So here are all the colours now dried, and you can see they're all pretty consistent across brands. My personal favourite still remains the Rembrandt one, I feel, even though currently I'm using the Old Holland one. I definitely could consider switching to my own or the Jackson's one as well. And the m.graham one is nice if I'm looking for one that doesn't granulate so much. Out of all of them, the m.graham also reactivates the best and the easiest. It's to do with the consistency of the paint. So here is a close-up now of all of the colours been done and mixed. So you can see here all the granulation. The Rembrandt one does granulate quite nicely and the colours are really nice. The Daniel Smith one, I feel it's lacking in the green mixtures, but does make a very nice violet. The Old Holland again is very consistent, nice granulation, along with my own handmade one. And the Zircon Blue definitely granulates very heavily. The Jackson's is also very nice, and the m.graham really flatly. The Holbein one is very lackluster, there's no granulation and there's no pop to the colour I find. But as I said, I'll leave all of them down in the description if you would like to pick any up. So I really hope you've enjoyed looking more at this pigment. It's definitely been good for me, I've learnt quite a lot. So thank you for watching this video, and hopefully I will see you in the next episode. Take care, and bye bye.